Okay, namaste everyone. Thank you for joining in this session on judging wealth through the INDU LAGNA. Okay, so I've taken up this topic because it's a topic that is not much discussed, but then it is something that is that is very very important to understand if we have to understand the financial the financial prospects in a birth chart or in a horoscope. Okay. Previously, we have done 3 other seminars. The first was on all way connected to wealth, of course. The first was on looking at wealth from the horoscope, the wealth sutras. Okay, which combinations must be there to to indicate wealth in the horoscope. Then we had a look at the yogi point and how the yogi point and the other duplicate yogi planet, it influences the financial prospects of a native. And this is the concluding seminar of the of the wealth series, which on which I will speak about the INDU LAGNA. Okay, so I'll not take much of your time. So what is INDU LAGNA? Okay, INDU LAGNA has been mentioned quite a few times in the classics like the Brihatparashara Hora Shastra and Phala Deepika. Okay, it also finds its mention in classical texts like Uttar Kalamrit by by Kalidas. So INDU LAGNA is actually a special reference point for calculating wealth, and it is also known as Thana Lagna. Okay, it is also known as Thana Lagna. Now INDU is another name for the moon. Okay, for Chandra, that is, and moon, of course, we know it represents sustenance. Okay, and INDU LAGNA, it shows the sustaining ability of the moon. Okay, it will also show it will also show power, it will also show wealth, it will also show prosperity, and it will also show the ability to create something new, how good you are at creating something. Okay, and you can use the INDU LAGNA as the as the reference point, as a standalone reference point to judge the financial situation of a native. Ideally we would want as many planets in the INDU LAGNA, or to influence the INDU LAGNA by by aspect or by by their placement, that is right. And I'll come to the specific details on INDU LAGNA. So INDU LAGNA, as I said, it can be used as a as an independent standalone point to find out specific time periods and grahas that will confer wealth irrespective of other dhana yogas in the horoscope. Okay, so as I said, INDU LAGNA has been given a lot of importance in classical classical Jyotish texts like the Brihatparashara Hora Shastra, and then in Uttar Kalamrita, as well as in Phala Deepika. Okay, so in Uttar Kalamrita, right, that is by Kalidas. So this Kalidas is not the Kalidas we know, the devotee of Kali. Okay, it is someone else. He is a rishi. So in Uttar Kalamrita, Kalidas has called INDU LAGNA. Okay, so in Uttar Kalamrita, Kalidas has called INDU LAGNA as Adhi Yoga. Okay, I'm sorry, it has he has listed INDU LAGNA after Adhi Yoga. Okay, that means Adhi Yogas are the yogas of wealth that are listed in Uttar Kalamrita. Okay, and then he gives INDU LAGNA third position after Adhi Yoga, and then after the Thana Yogas. Okay, Thana Yogas, of course, we have discussed in the first webinar of this wealth series, right? So what is mentioned in the Uttar Kalamrita is that INDU LAGNA can be used as a special reference for judging the wealth of the of the native. Okay, it can be used as a special it can be used as a special ascendant, that is to judge the wealth of a native. All right. So what Uttar Kalamrita says in chapter 4 verse number 27 is that it assigns units. Okay, it assigns certain units which are calculated as the units of wealth to the 7 planets. Okay, it assigns some special points, that is just like you have the Ashtaka Varga points. So the Uttar Kalamrita, it assigns certain special points to the 7 planets. Okay, it does not consider Rahu and Ketu because Rahu and Ketu, they don't have a body, they are shadowy planets. Okay, so we'll not consider Rahu and Ketu. I'll just start my screen share. Okay, let's see. Yes, so Uttar Kalamrita, it actually assigns special points to the, to the 7 planets excluding Rahu and Ketu. So Sun has been assigned 30 points. That means Sun is the, it is the most important planet for creating resources. Okay, people speak about, about the importance of Mercury and Venus and Jupiter in creating wealth. But if you look at the points that are assigned to the, to the various planets for their ability to create wealth, the Sun gets the highest number of points, 30 points. Okay, then Moon is getting 16 points, right? Mars is getting 6 points, Mercury is getting 8 points, Jupiter is getting 10 points, Venus is getting 12 points. Okay, so after Sun and Moon comes Venus. Okay, and then Saturn is getting only 1 point. Okay, so what it also implies, there are a few other secrets here. As a result, on the basis of which the points have been assigned, we know that the Sun is the creator of all resources. Okay, and those resources are represented by the 12 rashis, and each rashi has an Aditya. Okay, so we have the Doshaditya, which means the 12 forms of Surya who lords each rashi. For example, the Surya for, the Aditya for Capricorn is Thata Aditya, or the Aditya for Gemini is Mitra Aditya, right? Then Moon, of course, we know that it is the, it is the ability to sustain. Okay, it is the ability to sustain based on the, on the horoscope. Just give me a minute. Somebody is not mute. Okay, so Moon, as we know, it is the, it is the ability to sustain. Okay, the ability to sustain our resources that are created by the Sun. Mars is not a wealth giver planet as such, but it is a wealth creator planet. Okay, it inspires us to create wealth. Okay, Mercury, of course, is liquid cash, because without liquid cash we cannot do anything in this world. We cannot do our transactions and so on, right? Then comes Jupiter. So Jupiter actually represents spiritual wealth. It is less of material wealth and more of spiritual wealth, because if I can throw 100 gold coins at you, but if you don't know the value of gold, then those gold coins will not be of any use to you. Okay, so that is the reason Jupiter, has been assigned the responsibility of conferring spiritual wealth. That is. Then Venus is has been given 12 points. So Venus, we know, it is the Karaka for houses. It is the Karaka for vehicles. It is the Karaka for luxury. It is the Karaka for pleasure and everything. Okay, and then Saturn, you see, has been given only 1 point. Okay, why? Because this is a hidden meaning, or this is a esoteric meaning to say that you cannot become rich by hard work alone. Okay, Saturn represents extreme hard work, and what our rishis are saying, that you cannot become rich by even by extreme hard work. Okay, you have to you have to apply your brains, or you have to apply your intelligence to to become wealthy. Okay, so now let's come to the part of calculating the INDU Lagna. Okay, so just note down these points. Okay, just note down these points. Sun is 30, Moon is 16, Mars is 6, Mercury is 8, Jupiter is 10, Venus is 12, and Saturn is 1. So how to calculate INDU Lagna? First, take the 9th lord from the Lagna, and then the 9th lord from the Moon, and then add them. Okay, 9th lord from the Lagna, 9th lord from the Moon, and then add them. Right, then add them. So you see the 9th lord from the Lagna is Mercury. Okay, Mercury is given how many points? 8 points. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so there was a problem with the power. All right, so Mercury, as we know, has been given 8 points. Then 9th lord from the Moon, just calculate the 9th lord from the Moon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is Jupiter. So Jupiter has been given how many points? 10 points. Okay, Mercury 8, Jupiter 10. So 9th lord from the Lagna is Mercury, ninth lord from the moon is Jupiter. So 10 plus 8 is 18. Now divide this sum by 12. Okay, divide this sum by 12. Okay, divide this sum by 12 and then take the remainder. So if you divide 18 by 12, you're left with 6. Okay, now count the remainder from the moon sign. Okay, count this remainder from the moon sign. So you have to count again for as a recap. Take the ninth lord from Lagna, which is Mercury. Take the ninth lord from moon, which is Jupiter. Add the points given to the respective planets. Okay, add the points given by the respective planets. So 9 plus Mercury is giving 8 points, Jupiter is giving 10 points, so it is 18. Okay, it is 18, and then divided by 12, you'll be left to the remainder of 6. Now count 6 places from the moon: 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this Sagittarius becomes the INDU Lagna. Okay, if there is no remainder, yes Mukunda, I'll be coming to you. If there is no remainder, then suppose just to give you a perspective, suppose ninth lord from the Lagna is Mars and ninth lord from the moon is Saturn. So 6 plus 1 is 7. So there is no remainder. In that case, we will count 7 houses from the moon. Okay. Yeah. So this Sagittarius, it becomes the INDU Lagna. Okay. Yes, Mukunda ji, you were
Yeah. Hi Devarshi. So my question you just answered. So if there was no remainder, let's say if it is a single digit which is not divisible by 12, so
yeah,
is it still like to count from the moon, right?
Count the number of houses from the moon.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now see, you can actually without even studying the INDU Lagna, you can actually look at the you can look at the wealth potentials of the native. Okay, so you see how many planets are influencing the INDU Lagna. So Saturn is already present, and if it is retrograde, you'll multiply these values by 3. Okay, so if it's retrograde, you'll multiply this by 3. So Saturn is 1 into 3. So Saturn is contributing 3 points to the INDU Lagna. Okay, by its placement. Any retrograde, you multiply it by 3. But then you have to be careful while looking at retrograde planets influencing the INDU Lagna. It will give a lot of difficulties in acquiring wealth at first. Okay, it will give a lot of obstacles, right? It will give a lot of delays. So although retrograde planets, as I said, the value must be multiplied by 3, but you have to be a bit careful in judging the chart on the basis of retrograde planets. Okay, so they will give some kind of obstacles or some kind of difficulties in attaining wealth. Then look at Jupiter. It is giving a direct aspect to the INDU Lagna. Jupiter is 10, Mercury is 8, Sun is 30. So this this native has a lot of wealth potential. You can add up all the points to look at the wealth potential of the native. Okay. You can say Ketu is also aspecting the INDU Lagna, but as I said, Rahu and Ketu, they are not given any points. Okay, so that is how you can judge the you can just put a cursory glance at the wealth potential of the native, right? Okay, now just to analyze the INDU Lagna. Okay, I'm not going into the I'm not going into the chart analysis, right? Just to analyze the INDU Lagna. So what we will do is that the quantum of wealth, as I said, it will depend on the natural disposition and strength of the planets located in the INDU Lagna. Okay, so if the lord of the INDU Lagna is aspecting the INDU Lagna or is present in the INDU Lagna, it is very, very good for wealth. Okay, it is very, very good for wealth. So if you look at this example, the INDU Lagna is Sagittarius, the lord is Jupiter, and it is aspecting the INDU Lagna. Okay, you need not worry about the INDU Lagna being placed in a Dusthana. That is not the concern. Okay, you just have to see the number of planets that are influencing the INDU Lagna. Okay, so if the lord of the sign, if the lord of the INDU Lagna is aspecting the INDU Lagna or is placed in the INDU Lagna, then it can it can confer a lot of wealth during its Dasha. Okay, again, if a planet is situated in INDU Lagna, the Dasha of that planet will give wealth and prosperity. Okay, this will hold correct for both malefics and benefics, but in my in my personal experience, any planet that is seated in the INDU Lagna should not be debilitated. Otherwise, the quality of wealth becomes very, very questionable. Okay, you can actually have a, you can actually have a drug lord having a lot of wealth. Okay, so in that case, those people in all possibility will have a, debilitated malefic sitting at the Hindu Lagna. Okay, so if the whatever planet is situated in the Hindu Lagna, it should not be debilitated. Otherwise, the quality of wealth or the source of wealth actually becomes questionable. Okay. Then if it is a benefic planet, it is very, very good. Okay, for example, Jupiter, Venus, then uninflicted Mercury, and Shukla Paksha moon. It is very, very good if those planets are present in the Hindu Lagna, or they are aspecting the Hindu Lagna. Okay, and then if an exalted benefic is present in the Hindu Lagna, that also will give you a lot of wealth during its dasha. If an exalted malefic is present in the Hindu Lagna, it will also give you wealth, but after a lot of struggle, after a lot of strife. Okay, and then if there is no planet in the Hindu Lagna, or if there is no, if there is no planet aspecting the Hindu Lagna, then the planets which are located in Kendras to the Hindu Lagna will give prosperity during the dasha. Okay, if there is no planet in the Hindu Lagna, or there is no planet aspecting the Hindu Lagna, then the planets which are in Kendras to the Hindu Lagna will give wealth during the dasha. Okay. You can also look at the 2nd and the 11th house from Hindu Lagna. Those houses, okay, those houses, the signs, not the houses, basically the signs, those signs will also give you wealth, right? So if we look at this case, the 2nd house from Hindu Lagna, is the Lagna itself. That means hard work, okay, hard work, working on one's personality, right? So this will give a lot of wealth to the native. Similarly, 11th from the Hindu Lagna is the sign of Libra. So females will be very, 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 very lucky for the native. Okay, doing business will be very, very, because Libra represents the marketplace, right? So doing business will give a lot of wealth to the native. Okay, this is how you look at the charts. Again, Dushthanas, the concept of Dushthanas will hold here as well. Okay, so 3rd, 6th, 8th, and 12th from the Hindu Lagna will show struggles regards to wealth. Okay, 6th from the Hindu Lagna will tell you the enemies of your wealth. Okay, 6th from the Hindu Lagna will tell you the enemies of your wealth. Who are the people who will take away your wealth, or will try to take away your wealth? Okay, 8th from the Hindu Lagna can show a drastic decrease in income. Okay, for example, again, just taking this example, and then just take this example, and 10th, 12th from the Hindu Lagna will actually show the sign or the house that will be ignored by the native to get wealth. Okay, so as I said, 6th from the Hindu Lagna, right? 6th from the Hindu Lagna will show the enemies of the wealth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what happens once children are born, the native will lose wealth. Okay, because 5th house is the house of children. So every time the native attempts to go for childbirth, or maybe every time a child is born, there would be some outflow of wealth which will not be liked by the native, right? Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So see, 8th from the Hindu Lagna will show the death of wealth. That means 8th from Hindu Lagna, that is the 7th house, the house of partnerships, the house of marriage. So after marriage, all of a sudden the wealth of the native can stop. Okay, or if the native is undergoing the the dasha of the moon, because the 8th from Hindu Lagna is ruled by the moon, then there could be some blockages or some breakage in the earning potential of the native. 12 from the Hindu Lagna will be ignored by the native, as I said. So this is the 11th house. So the native will ignore friends, because the 11th house is friends. The native will ignore the advice of his or her elder brothers, or elder sisters, or elder siblings, whoever it is. So that is how you will you will judge the chart. Okay, so I hope I'm clear here. Any questions from here? We'll go to the chart analysis after this.
Sir, I have a small question. Like, suppose, can we take the house properties as well? Like, suppose if the 6th lord in Hindu Lagna or 8th lord in the Hindu Lagna, like that?
You can suppose the sixth lord, as just by the principle that I said, suppose the sixth lord is an INDU Lagna. Okay.
Mhm.
In that case, that planet will give wealth, but the wealth will come from litigation. Suppose someone has put a case on you and then you go on to win that case. So the wealth is coming from there.
Okay, but normally sixth house represents debts as well, right?
It
So
does. See, the thing is that at some point or the other, we are all in debt. Whenever you are using a debit card or a credit card, it's about being in debt, right? But if you look at most of the big businessmen, they are making money by being in debt. If you look at Ambani or if you look at Adani, they owe a lot of money to the banks, right?
yeah.
So they are in debt, but they are also making money in the process. So it's the same situation, if you understand the analogy.
Okay. Similarly, if eighth lord in INDU Lagna, then you can get some inheritance. Or
Yeah,
unexpected
you can
income.
get some inheritance, or suppose someone may work in the insurance sector also, and the person dies all of a sudden without any nominee, and the money goes to him. Or
Okay.
someone has put someone as a nominee, and the person dies, and and money shows up all of a sudden, or maybe money is being made from lottery or from gambling, and so on.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, one more question, Devarshi. So
Yeah.
what if the INDU Lagna has the planets which has retrograde? Any insights on that?
Retrograde planet will show a delay in acquiring wealth. Suppose you were supposed to acquire wealth when you were 16, but because it is retrograde, the same wealth has come to you, say after 5 years or say after 10 years.
Okay.
It does not mean denial, it means a delay in things.
Got it.
Retrograde, it will mean denial with obstacles. Benefic retrograde, okay, I'll let you go. You take the wealth that I'm trying to give to you. Okay. All right. So as I said, any chart analysis is incomplete if I don't give out Bill Gates' chart. Right. So just first do the calculation of INDU Lagna. Look at the ninth lord from the Janma Lagna. It is Saturn. Okay, so take that as 1. Ninth lord from the moon is Mars. So Mars is 6. So adding these together will give 7. Now count 7 houses from the moon. 7 houses from the moon is Virgo, and look at this Virgo. It contains that exalted Mercury as the lord of the INDU Lagna present in the same Lagna. So what happens? You, without even looking at the Lagna, you can say that the person will be very, very wealthy. Right? You don't even have to look at the other Dhana yogas. Okay. Lord of the INDU Lagna, in the INDU Lagna, that too in an exalted condition. Okay, it will give a lot of wealth, right? Now, look at the, you also have to look at the overall condition and the disposition of the INDU Lagna Lord. Okay, so again, in case of Bill Gates, right? The second house, look at the second house from INDU Lagna. As I said, 2nd and 11th from the INDU Lagna is very, very important. Look at the second house from INDU Lagna. It has Venus. Okay, so Venus is the 2nd and the 9th lord in the 2nd house, which is again conjoining an exalted Saturn, right? And what is Saturn? Saturn is the 5th lord. So it is a supreme Dhana Yoga. Okay, and it was actually during his Venus period that he became the richest person in the world for whatever period of time. Okay, right? Okay. Ross Perot. So this is a billionaire, right? Look at the INDU Lagna. It is marked as IL. Cancer is the INDU Lagna. So it contains, the natural benefic Venus. And who is Venus? Venus is the 11th lord, right? It is present in the 1st house. And just to say that he acquired a lot of money during his Venus period. But if you look at this chart, the chart is not that impressive. You see the lord of the INDU Lagna, it is actually ill placed. Okay, this lord of INDU Lagna has gone to the 12th house, so he's anyways ignoring his INDU Lagna, his earning potential, but still Venus is giving him a lot of wealth. Okay, all right. Okay, Catherine the Great. So I'll just take this example because of the ongoing war that is taking place. Right, so she was this Russian monarch. Okay, so look at the INDU Lagna. It is Gemini. Okay, it is Gemini, and it has it has a conjoinment, it has a combination of Jupiter and Venus. Okay, and this Jupiter and Venus, this Jupiter is exchanging signs with Mercury. Look at Jupiter, it is exchanging signs with Mercury. So Mercury is actually getting a Neej Bhanga Raj Yoga by by Parivartan. Okay, Mercury is getting a Neej Bhanga Raj Yoga by Parivartan, right? So look at the look at the Saturn. It is the 9th from the Hindu Lagna. Okay, and because of this, because of because of this Neej Bhang Raj Yoga by Parivartan, Jupiter and Mercury periods gave her a lot of wealth. Okay, and one funny thing about Neej Bhang Raj Yoga is that normally what happens is when a planet is getting Neej Bhang Raj Yoga, the planet getting the Neej Bhang Raj Yoga, it is lifted up, and the planet giving the Neej Bhang Raj Yoga is destroyed. Okay, for example, suppose you have Chandra Mangal Yoga in Cancer. So Mangal is getting this Neej Bhang Raj Yoga by Chandra. So Chandra is getting destroyed and Mangal is being lifted up. Or similarly, if you're having a Chandra Mangal Yoga in Scorpio, what happens is Chandra is getting Neej Bhang Raj Yoga from Mangala. So Mangala is getting destroyed in the process, and Chandra is being lifted up, right? So this is a normal condition when Neej Bhang Raj Yoga happens. But if it happens due to Parivartan, look at this Parivartan. Jupiter in the house of Mercury, Mercury in the house of Jupiter. So Mercury is debilitated, but Jupiter being in the house of Mercury, it is lifting Mercury. So in this case, both the planets are actually lifted up. Okay, so it's a very important principle to judge Neej Bhang Raj Yoga, and this is not mentioned in any book. Okay, so this is how you look at it, right? Okay, Garnet Paltrow. This is, of course, a lifestyle entrepreneur and movie star. You can look her up in Google. Okay, she's still alive, right? So she has a current net worth of around 200 million. Okay, and look at the Hindu Lagna. The moon is exalted. Okay, and look at the look at the it has a exalted moon. Okay, and look at the moon. The moon is exchanging signs with Venus, right? The moon is exchanging signs with Venus. Venus is in the sign of moon, the moon is in the signs of Venus, and Venus is also the Lagna Lord. So it is a it is a superb Dhan Yoga. Okay, it is a superb Dhan Yoga. And look at the 9th from Hindu Lagna. It is Saturn, and that 9th Lord from the Hindu Lagna coming to the Hindu Lagna is a Simhasan Yoga. Okay, again look at Mercury. Mercury is the second lord. As I said, second from the Hindu Lagna is very, very important, and Mercury is exalted. Okay, Mercury is exalted, and where is it sitting? It is sitting in the 5th house. So not only Mercury is getting exaltation, it is also lifting up the Mars. It is also lifting up the Sun and Mars in the process. Okay, and then look at the 11th lord, Jupiter. Okay, look at the 11th lord, Jupiter. It is actually aspecting the 2nd house. Okay, so a lot of wealth has come for her during these periods. Okay. Okay, I just have one more chart to go. This is Katy Perry. She is a voiceover artist. Okay, so she has a lot of she has a lot of net worth. Her net worth in 2020 was around 500 million. Okay, look at the Hindu Lagna. It features this exalted, the Lord of the Hindu Lagna is exalted. Okay, and with whom it is sitting? It is sitting with the 9th Lord from the Hindu Lagna, which is Mercury. Okay, the 5th Lord from Hindu Lagna is again in the 11th house. So this is the way, this is the way you can actually look at the wealth potentials of a native by treating the Hindu Lagna as a special ascendant. Okay. All right. Okay, so I hope we are clear on this presentation of whatever I've tried to teach you. Next time we will be having a marathon on Arudha Lagna. We'll look at all the 12 houses from Arudha Lagna in one go. Okay, we will look at all the 12 houses from Arudha Lagna in one go. That will perhaps take up around around 90 minutes to 120 minutes of our time. So I'll be announcing it very, very soon, possibly towards the end of this month. And the next month, of course, we are the first day of next month, we'll be starting with the certificate course on Vedic astrology, the beginner's certificate course on Vedic astrology as promised. Any questions from anyone? All right. All right then. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you very, very soon with this, with this session on Arudha Lagna. It will be free for all to attend. Hopefully, I'll see all of you there. Thank you for attending. Namaste. Om Guru.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.